Hi there, 8th grade students. Sorry, what class am I in? How's everybody doing? I hope you are doing okay. I know today has been crazy. I hope you are celebrating the fact that we all survived our first day of school for the second time this year. And that's just how it goes when you figure out online learning. I have problems with the words. I'm tired. Are y'all tired? Look, I've already got the bun going on. I need a dog to come sit in my lap and I'm probably out like that, right? But I wanted to get a quick message to you to recap the day of some of the problems that we saw and some things that we can do to make it better. I don't even know how to do this, but okay, I hope it's working all right. I don't want it to just be my face like this. So number one, let's go through a quick list. When you are doing a Juno pod, please complete the entire pod, meaning if you leave to go do something else and come back, make sure you go back and answer all of the questions. When I say that, some questions are yes or no, or if you agree, you should be saying yes or true. And if you do not answer anything in there, if you leave it blank, you can't go back and fix it. And there's a weird thing where I cannot go in and give you manual credit for it. So even if it's just something very basic, yes or no, make sure you answer every bit of it. Number two, excuse me. And while I'm at it, if you answer, if the question only requires a yes or no, please don't put the Southern polite yes ma'am, or yes I did that, or yes thank you so much. Just do yes or no, or it confuses the system. I'm glad y'all are polite, but it kind of cracked me up that I was having to click and correct on a hand manual entry because y'all were putting such cute things like thank you so much Miss Smith. I really appreciate it, but let's leave the bless your hearts off of it, okay? All right, so number two, check your messages throughout the day. Most of the time your Juno pod will be ready, it'll be easy to use, you'll be ready to go, you won't have any questions to ask your teacher. Today was not that day. Not at all. All the questions. I'll be okay. I'm gonna have my root beer float here in just a minute and I'll be fine. But check your emails. What I mean by that is in Jupiter Ed, you have a tab that says messages. You need to check that probably 3 times a day at least. 8 a.m., right when you start your pods, whenever you start your pods. Let's hope it's in the morning. Number 2, maybe around lunchtime, and then again at the end of the day, maybe 4 o'clock. That way you know if something went wrong with your pod, like maybe you left questions blank, and I've had to email some of you today about that, then you'll be able to double check and just make sure. Don't check it all night. I'm checking mine all night just because we all need to get through these first few bumpy days. But you need to take a break from it later, but check the Jupiter messages on kind of a timed out schedule. Maybe even put some reminders in your phone if you have a phone. Number 3, do not freak out if it says you made a 25 on a quiz, because some of the questions that we put on a quiz, we have to hand grade to make sure you get full credit. It's a very smart program, but it cannot directly tell on short answers or long answers, long essay, whether or not you answered what was being asked of you. So we have to manually hand grade those few questions before we submit the final grade. When I did that today, most grades, if you went from like a 25%, shot straight to a 100. Just because they have to have it clicked by me on this end. So if you make a low score and you're pretty sure that you did well on that pod, please wait till it's graded before any final judgment is called, because that's why we're having to learn how to work with the online system. The final topic, and hopefully I won't come back to you with any more topics because I'm too tired, but look for a possible email in the morning, is during the forums. Now, I use the word forums because I didn't know that that's not what you see on your screen. When we looked in with Haley's emails and how she was seeing it as a student, that changed everything about how I'm trying to word things from this point forward. But the forums are simply discussion groups, and those discussion groups, which we all found out today, are very much like social media. They can get out of hand very quickly. So we need to make sure that we're careful with how we present ourselves on the discussion chats. Treat it like formal seminar. It is okay to be encouraging and say, yay, good job, or I agree, or that's an interesting topic. It has to all be on topic though, because if we take a tangent on those threads, something's going to get missed that is very important to someone else or maybe even to you. So make sure we are on task, especially if it's a comment thread where I need to know if you're struggling with what we're doing online, which is what the thread was today, which was, can you get into forums? Do you know where to find your emails? Did you do the pods correctly? Was there something going on with your computer system that maybe you weren't able to log in? All of those things have to be addressed, but we couldn't because we had problems making our choices on social media. So treat the discussion forums, or I think it's called a critique at the top of your page. Treat those with discretion. Use your best judgment. If it's funny, let it be funny on a text message to a friend, but don't put it right on the forum. Now the nice thing is I didn't see any cussing. I didn't see anyone dogging each other more than usual that you would in the hallway at school. But we need to keep it more formal, okay? That is classroom time, and it needs to be treated as such. Same thing when we get on a Google Meet where we actually sit face to face on the computer. We really have to be on our best behavior, and I know you'll get an entire list of what that should entail and what should be left out when we get there next week. But please, if you have questions on where things are, I want to help you. And sometimes it might be easier to contact your parent directly on a phone to get that information to you. But don't struggle without telling somebody what's going on. We don't want you to be frustrated. Should you have to work with your education, toil with it a little bit? Yes. But do we want you just frustrated because you can't get on the internet? No, that's not what this is. Things are stressful right now, and it doesn't need to be more so with our schoolwork. We should be able to kind of rely on our schoolwork to be somewhat of a comfort, of something that we are familiar with, that we can continue forward. So keep reading and annotating in Red Badge of Courage. Keep listening to your music and taking your notes for our music class. And I look forward to trying this all again tomorrow and see how well it goes then. My goal is to get you enough information to cut down the emails. It's a lot. Have a great night and get some rest, and we'll see you at 8 a.m. Thanks.